you can tell, I'm in a great mood today. It's sunny outside, I'm feeling it. I'm going to meet a friend today who I've not seen in so long, so I'm so excited. And I just thought, I'm ready early as usual. And I thought I'd make another video because I have made a lot of videos recently and posted a lot of videos. I mean, I post every week, Wednesdays at 5 if you're interested. Not to say all the videos have been really down in the dumps and really like sad and depressing, because they haven't. Like, some of them have been advice videos. I just posted a video all about tracking your cycle naturally, which obviously is an amazing thing. It's not a depressing thing at all. But I just feel like my energy in those videos hasn't been the best. And for some reason, I'm always like in a better mood when I'm like going somewhere after, or like my hotel vlog was just so full of energy because I was nervous and I was excited, and you know, but when I'm just sitting down chatting about something, sometimes my energy is just like a bit flat. I don't know, something to work on. But I'm just excited about this video because I really do feel so much better in myself. Like, my energy is just up, you know. I've never done one of these videos before, like a Q&A type video, mostly because my channel is very small and I also don't have Instagram, so it's hard for me to ask for people to ask me questions because there's not really anywhere for people to do that. There's the community kind of part of the channel where you can go and we can chat, but it's not really, it doesn't do it the same. It's not the same. It's not the same as Instagram. But luckily, when I was on Instagram, I did make a few stories, I mean a lot of stories to be honest, where I was asking different questions, and I've kind of compiled all these different questions that I've got from all those different times that I asked questions on my stories. And I thought I'd just make a really cute like Q&A video because honestly, since starting my channel, I was like, I cannot wait to do one of these videos where I answer people's questions. But then I thought, I've got zero subscribers, so it's going to be difficult. But we've got to a point now where I think I've got enough questions to make a Q&A video. Oh, it's my sister. So yeah, we've only got like a few questions, not loads, but I'm just gonna go for it, okay? Okay, so someone has said, how can I be more empathetic or be a better listener? This one's hard because I'm gonna be honest, I am naturally an empathetic person. Like, I am a sponge. I absorb everyone's energies around me. It's not always a good thing, but obviously I am the type of person that would say it's a superpower, so I'm not gonna, you know, dim her light. But yeah, in terms of how to become more empathetic or a better listener, I think it's easier to become a better listener, because I think honestly, naturally, some people just are very empathetic. And if you're not empathetic, in my personal opinion, that might have, there's lots of different things that could be going on there. Maybe you are a bit out of touch with your own emotions, so it's maybe difficult for you to understand other people's. Maybe a lot of people around you have just been going through something that you've never experienced before, which naturally is going to be difficult to empathize with. You know, there's loads of different external and internal reasons why you might feel like you're not an empathetic person. But I know who wrote this because obviously on Instagram it comes up with who it was. I'm not going to out who that was, but I know you. I know who you are. We are good friends, and I'm just saying this to you now. I think you're an amazing person. I think you are an amazing listener just from what I've experienced, and I think you should give yourself more credit. Yeah, that's my advice because I know who wrote this. But in general, for general advice for other people is, yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself to feel other people's emotions and to understand them, because being empathetic doesn't necessarily mean that you completely understand what everyone is going through. Like, that's not it at all. The way that I see it is that you just, with that person in that moment, you know, you just, maybe you're feeling what they're feeling, maybe you're feeling a little fraction of what they're feeling, you know, you're just able to be there for that person and you're connected. It's a connection, I feel. It is a really nice, genuine connection with someone. That's how I see empathizing with someone, is a real deep connection in that moment. So yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Focus more on how you relate to your own emotions and how you're connected with yourself, and maybe then you will find it easier to empathize with other people. Okay, the next one is, how do you keep going? How do you keep going when things get hard? So for me, you think you know the answers to these types of questions until you actually ask them, and then you're like, what do I do? Like, what do I do when things are hard? I mean, this week is an example. Like, I've had a hard time, like, internally. Like, I've had really obsessive thoughts. I've been, you know, sending myself down rabbit holes in my head. Like, I've been really anxious, like physically feeling anxious. So I'd say, I mean, this is just like a light example, I guess, of that. And what I do is I push myself to do things that I know will potentially pull me out of that place. So for me, that is going to see my friend today. Like, obviously I'd see my friend even if I was in a good mood. It's not like, you know, I am in that point in my life where I'm very comfortable in my everyday routine. I see the same people every day, and so when I meet up with a friend, which is like every couple months, like, it's kind of a big deal to me, and it actually always makes me feel so much better. And just having that one-to-one connection with someone is so important. Like, you need to stay in contact with your friends and make the effort to see them. Like, if you're a homebody like me and you don't really leave the house that often, and you're just very content in your own space, like, sometimes we really do have to just push ourselves to, like, take that leap and, like, push ourselves to meet new people, push ourselves to just go and meet our current friends, you know? So I definitely say people. Like, even as an introvert, like, I've found that people and reaching out for support from other people is how you get through things. We need each other. That's something I'm learning. Like, we need human connection. And I could understand that might not help everyone, because some people don't have that support system around them. And if not, you know, therapy is a great option. I know that some people aren't in a financial position to go to therapy either, so I will link down below an alternative that is cheaper than, you know, the general private practice kind of therapists. But yeah, I think if you have that support system, use it. Like, don't take people for granted who love you and really care for you. And at the same time, I'm a big believer that we can get ourselves out of things, and we can do it. We can get ourselves out of hard places in our minds. So I have all trust and belief that you can do that. I know it's so, like, cliche, you've probably heard it all before, but time. The best thing you can do is get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Be okay with being, I know this sounds awful, but be okay with being depressed. Be okay with being anxious right now, because sometimes that's what you need to do. You need to accept that this is currently where you're at. It's temporary, but you are currently here. Let's not panic about it. Let's not feel shit about it. Let's accept it for now, and let's move through it as slowly as we need to. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I'd say. Okay, we're going to do a bit of a light-hearted one now, because I feel like I've done 2 heavy ones, and then we'll get back into some more heavy ones. But this one says, I want to find a unique style, but I don't know where to start. Any advice? Okay, so you want a unique style, you don't know where to start. First thing I would do, right, I'm not the best person to ask this because I don't really know if I have a style. I'll insert a few pictures of what my style used to be and what it is kind of like now, because it's very different. I think your style can really reflect what you're going through and, like, the kind of era of your life you're in, like mentally, spiritually, whatever it is. I think that's amazing. So I think maybe assess, like, where you are in your life right now. You know, are you in love? Like, are you single? I know that sounds really, like, far from style, but honestly, from me being single to me being in a relationship, my style's completely changed. And that's not because my boyfriend's like, you can't wear, like, revealing stuff. Like, it's like, not at all. He would never say anything like that to me, and if he did, you know, it's more just like the way that I'm feeling now is just completely different. I mean, even, like, you know, I used to be kind of like sad all the time, and so I would, like, wear black and red. Well, I just wear black a lot. And now, you know, I mean, let's take an example of what I'm wearing today. Oh, you can't really see me. Look at my pants. And look at, like, you know, there's colour. And that is a reflection of how I'm feeling on the inside. So honestly, I would say think about just how you feel. Like, where are you at in your life and what do you think would reflect that? Your style can really feed into that as well. Like, your style can really enhance that kind of chapter of your life and make you really like lean into it. It's like an art form, isn't it? So yeah, I definitely say do that, but don't force it as well. You know, just see what you naturally gravitate towards. I completely understand what you're saying, because, you know, I went through a phase where I would literally try to shop, like try to online shop, and I'd be scrolling for like an hour and I'd find nothing that I liked. If you're at that point where you're literally so stuck, you're like, what do I like what suits me? Just have fun. Like, take the pressure away from style and looking good. Like, what makes you feel good? What colors do you like? Think about how clothes make you feel as well, because it's not always about how it looks, you know? I'm more about comfort now, as everyone will know. I'm a comfort girl, okay? I feel like I'm talking a lot, like answering these a bit too in depth, but let's continue. Okay, I like these kinds of questions. So someone said, how do I find a man? I've been searching but can't get myself a good one. Okay, first mistake that you're making is that you're searching. I know that's kind of annoying to hear, but stop searching for a man. Like, you don't need to ever be searching for a man. Like, it's just not a thing, okay? I don't know if you're a man or a woman who has sent this in, actually, so I could give completely different advice, but I think, from what I remember, I think you were a woman. I think it was a girl who asked me this. I'm a big believer in the whole energies thing. I think the men will always be the chasers, the women will always be kind of the power, to be honest. I think we're very powerful, and I think men gravitate towards us, and so I don't think that you need to ever be searching for a man. I think the best way to find someone who really fits into your little bubble, fits into your life, makes you happy, is making yourself happy first. Priority, you. Do the things that you love, wake up, get inspired, live your life, have your goals, have your own individual life, because this goes for like people who are already in relationships as well. I'm not gonna say that I'm in a perfect relationship and I do everything right and I'm completely secure, because that is not true. Okay, I'm just human. I'm just navigating my way through life just like you, and I struggle a lot with this. I struggle to have my own individual life. I'm constantly thinking about me and my boyfriend as one, and in a way I really love that. I think it's an amazing thing to be able to do, but you do need your own life. You need your own individual life. This was not the question. I'm sorry, I've gone off in a tangent. My point is, live your life, okay? Live your life, feel sexy, feel free. The better you feel within yourself, the better you're gonna attract. So really try to squeeze the juiciness out of life, and the men will come running, okay? Don't search for it, but be very open to it at the same time. That's my advice. Okay, maybe we have time for like 2 more, but okay. I saw your post on periods and I want to love mine, but I find it so hard. How did you learn to love yours? Okay, this is a whole story. This is going to be really difficult to answer very shortly, in a very short amount of time. I do have a video that I've just posted about how to track your period naturally, and I kind of go into my story a little bit in that video, so if you want to check that out, go check it out. It might be on the screen somewhere here. I might make a whole video on my experience with periods and all that, but I don't know if I'll make a full video, because I feel like I've already told it, so I don't know. But I'll just give some general advice anyway for people who struggle with their periods and struggle to love their periods. I would just say, go back to the basics and really think about why you're bleeding every month. Why do you bleed every month? Because you are capable of creating life, because you are a creator, because you are a magical, beautiful woman. Do you know what I mean? So go back to Why? Why is this happening to me every month? Because I'm incredible, because I have the ability to grow a human being, okay? It's insane, like, and I know it sounds so simple, but it's like, it's all about changing your perspective on this. Society does a great job of trying to make us hate our bodies, hate the way they work, hate our periods. They do whatever it takes to suppress our periods and our natural cycles with birth control and even whatever's in food, in clothes. I could go into it. We won't. This is a light-hearted Q&A. But all I would say is, honestly, just try to get back in touch with your body as this beautiful thing. Like, it's all about changing perspective on it, okay? And I completely appreciate that so many women have a horrible time, you know, before their period, during the period, whatever it is. And I'm kind of one of those women. I really struggle with PMS. I really struggle with the mental and the emotional toll it can take on me. But I still celebrate my period every single month. So it's possible, you know, and it is getting better for me, by the way. If that's something you struggle with as well, it's getting better for me. And I'm doing things now that are helping me to get to that place where I am okay. I'm more okay than I'm not, you know? Again, once I've done more research, once I've done more experiencing that for myself, I will probably make a video on that entirely, so look out for that. But yeah, I love you and you're going to be okay, and loving your period is a process. Be patient with yourself. Oh, I want to keep saying stuff, but I know I need to move on. I will say one more thing. Think about the period products that you're using. Are they working for you? Think about your attitude towards your period. What are you telling yourself every month? Oh, it's going to be horrible, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. No. Even if it is, you don't need to constantly be affirming that and dragging yourself deeper into that hole, you know? Yeah, I'm sorry. If I don't stop myself now, I will just carry on and this will become an entirely different video. So I'm going to move on. Okay, I think we've got time for one last question. This is actually the final question I have, so that works out well. This one says, how do I deal with difficult people? I've been through my fair share of difficult people. How do we deal with them? First thing I would say is have a strong sense of self. That's very hard to just click your fingers and have. Obviously, it's a process. But when it comes to difficult people, whether that's just annoying people or whether it's on the extreme side of like manipulative, abusive people, you know, there's a whole scale of difficult people. Wherever they are on that scale, being self-assured, having a strong sense of self will always help you in these situations, especially if it's like a manipulative person. You need to have a very strong sense of self with those types of people. So again, I always say, look inwards. When you think you have a problem with something on the outside, there might be something to work on in the inside, right? You don't want to be easy for a person to manipulate. However, ways that you can deal with them other than, oh my God, okay, I just got very dizzy. The way that you can deal with these people other than, you know, building a confident sense of self, when they're talking to you, give yourself time to respond. Never react with these types of people, always respond. Again, very difficult, especially if it's like a heated argument. But what I would say is just take your time. Take your time in any situation with this person. I'm getting really dizzy. Okay. Whether it's you're texting them, whether they're in the room with you and you're talking, take your time. Really listen to what they're saying and really think about what you want to say after that. No reacting with these types of people. And then obviously if it gets to the point where they've been in your life for years and they're really taking their toll and they're, you know, you can tell your mental health is being affected by this person, really think about, can I actually walk out of this person's life? Is that a possibility? It's not always a possibility, you know. If we are living with that person, it might be a parent, a sibling. If it's a friend, friends come and go. Do not put up with that, okay? Communicate why it's not okay, communicate how you feel, and get out of there. Don't just get out of there, it's always good to communicate. But yeah, I would say if it's a friend, if it's someone who is temporarily or could be temporarily in your life, get rid. Life is too short. we don't need those types of people around us. Okay. Thank you for watching yet another video. And if this is the first time you see my face, thank you very much. That is really, really nice of you to tune in today. I'm gonna go get a snack, have a little chill before I go meet my friend. And yeah, I've really enjoyed this video. I'm really upset because I would do these videos all the time, like if I could, but like I said, you know, the channel's we've got a baby, we've grown this little baby, so until she gets to a point where people want to ask more questions, there's more people to ask questions, then, you know, these videos will be fair and few between. But I am obsessed with these videos and I'm very happy that I managed to put one together. So thank you for anyone who did send in those questions. I really appreciate you. That's my friend texting me now. I'm gonna go. I've really enjoyed today's video. If you haven't already, please do subscribe and come back. We can have a chat again next week. I post every Wednesday at 5. I love you and I'll see you there. Oh, I'm getting pins and needles. Bye.